Today I'm going to teach you how to make rice and beans. I recommend using long grain yellow basmati rice because it's the best kind of rice for this dish. You need some red kidney beans, some coconut milk powder. If you don't have this, don't worry too much about it. Some salt, bay leaves, garlic powder, some olive oil. You're going to need some garlic. Oh my god, I've had these for a while now. Also optional but great addition for taste, it's Haitian épices. I'll link a full recipe video below. Some aluminum foil, some cloves, your measuring cups, a silicone spoon. Shout out to my aunt because she got me this one. You can also use a metal spoon. You're gonna need a big pot like this and you don't want it to be non-stick. You need 2 big bowls like these, a sharp knife, and finally a strainer. The first thing we're gonna do is cook the beans. So you're gonna put your pot on the stove and turn it to medium high. Then grab your measuring cup because we're gonna add 8 cups of water to the pot. Then you're gonna measure 2 cups of beans and put them in the bowl because we're gonna wash them. Even though they look clean, they come in a bag, but you still want to wash them because sometimes they have like tiny little rocks that sneaks in between them, so you want to make sure you clean them before you cook them. And don't just let the water run on them. Make sure you use your hands and give them a really good clean. I like to rinse them twice to make sure that they are really clean. Once you're done with the first rinse, make sure you drain the water and rinse it one more time. I know for beginners this part might be difficult because the beans might escape your hands and just, spill all over the sink. But if you want to use a strainer for this part, it's totally fine. Whatever makes it easier for you. Once they're clean, just dump everything in the pot. And then you're going to grab your cloves and 2 cloves of garlic. Oh, I'm just realizing they're called the same name, but whatever. You're going to peel 2 cloves of garlic, and then you're going to rinse the cloves and the garlic. And what you're going to do is you're going to poke the garlic with the cloves. They taste disgusting, but they give your food such amazing taste. You just don't want to bite into them. Then we're gonna add 2 bay leaves. Then we're adding 1 teaspoon of olive oil. Cover it and let it come to a boil. The time is currently 11:05. In the meantime, you're gonna use your measuring cup to measure your rice. I'm using 3.5 cups of rice because I'm cooking for the whole week. And you want to make sure that you give your rice a really good clean. If you didn't wash the beans, you definitely want to wash the rice because look at this. Look at the color of the water. See? Yeah. No, you don't want to eat that. You want to make sure that you give it a really good clean. So take your time. I do it 3 times until the water is starting to become clear. It's not going to be completely clear because it's yellow rice, but see this? Look at this. Ugh. Just make sure you give it a really good clean. Just wash it well. Like I said, after the first rinse, you're gonna rinse it 2 more times. So here I'm just gonna show you how I do it. And this is the last rinse. As you can see, the water is a little bit more clear now. Still not completely transparent because again, it's yellow rice, but it's much cleaner than the first rinse. Drain it one last time and look at that. Beautiful. It is currently 11:23, so let's check on the beans. You're going to use your spoon or spatula to stir a little bit and take a look at them. If you see them looking dehydrated like this, put the cover back on. They're not ready yet. A good trick is to add 1 cup of cold water to help them cook faster. About 10 to 12 minutes later, the beans will no longer look dehydrated at this point. See, they look full, and if you try to break them, they'll easily break. So at that point, you know that they're almost ready. It's currently 11:36, so I'm going to let them cook for about 4 more minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to set up my big bowl and my strainer so I can strain the beans. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Well, we're going to lower the heat to medium and we're going to check on the beans. My goodness, I thought I burned my camera for a second. And this is what your beans should look like. See the difference before and after? Anyways, you're going to use your strainer and then you're just going to drain the beans. Be careful with this part because it's really hot. Then put your pot back on the stove. You're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a 1/4 cup of Haitian épices. Again, I will put a full recipe video in the description box below. I like to cover it for a few seconds so it doesn't splash everywhere. After about 30 seconds, you're gonna remove the lid and use your spoon or spatula to stir a little bit. And if you use this, your kitchen's gonna smell amazing, by the way. Okay, now we're adding the beans to fry them. Before we do, you wanna make sure that you mix all the beans with all the seasonings because you want to take advantage of all the flavor. So use your spoon, use your spatula, whichever one you're using, and make sure that you stir. Make sure it gets everywhere because that's how you distribute flavor in your food. Once you do that, then we're gonna cover the pot and let them fry for about a minute or so. When I tell you this smells amazing, oh my goodness, you gotta try it out for yourself. Now we're gonna add the water that we used to boil the beans. Oh my goodness, I forgot to tell you not to throw it out, so I am hoping that you didn't. Then we're gonna add 2 cups of water to have enough to cook the rice. Now time to make your rice water taste absolutely delicious. We're gonna start with some salt. I like to start with 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I make sure to mix everything. You want to make sure to distribute every seasoning you add. That way you don't add too much by accident. So you want to make sure you stir and then you taste. For this part, I'm not gonna be too strict about it. Start with 1 teaspoon of salt and then taste as you go and see. Just, add a little bit more, little by little, and see if you like it. Just basically season to taste. And we're going to do that with the salt. We're going to do that with the garlic powder as well. So you just do the same thing. For this, I'm using 1/2 teaspoon and same thing, just taste as you go. Now we're gonna add the coconut milk powder. If you have coconut milk, you can use that as well, but I like to use this. You can find it at your local Caribbean store or even like Indian stores. They have it as well. I ended up adding about 1.5 teaspoon of it. In this part, you want to make sure you stir really well to help the powder melt into the water. Dissolve, should I say, instead? I don't know. It's late and I'm tired. So it's currently 11:52. You're just gonna let the water come to a boil. Once the water comes to a boil, you're just gonna remove the lid, stir a little bit, and then you're just gonna add your rice. You remember that rice that we washed earlier? If it's a little dry, just feel free to run it under some water again. That way you can, undry. What am I saying? Anyways, it's just add your rice to the pot, and then you're going to use your spoon, spatula to mix it with the beans because you don't want all the beans to be concentrated at the bottom and all the rice at the top. You're making rice and beans, so you want to make sure to mix them. You're going to cook it for about 15 minutes on medium heat. Then you're going to remove the lid. Make sure to mix the rice and the beans really well. Then you're going to turn your stove down to low heat and grab your aluminum foil. You're going to put it on your rice. Make sure that it fits really well inside the pot. Then you're going to put on the lid. Take a look at the time and forget about it for the next 30 minutes. When it's about 5 minutes away from that 30-minute mark, you're going to remove the aluminum foil and let it cook like this. You're going to fluff the rice a little bit beforehand, but after you do that, you're just going to let it cook like this. I'm doing this voiceover and it's 10 p.m. so bear with me here. Anyways, so just fluff out the rice and let it cook uncovered for like 2 to 3 more minutes. 2 minutes later, your rice should be ready. So you're gonna turn off the stove and take your pot off that burner and let it cool down before you add it to your container. Hope you enjoy.